Welcome to Hockey Off the Turf. I am your host, Beanie Sliker, here with my co-host, Mary Werkheiser. Hello, Mary.
Hey, Beanie, how are you?
I'm great.
It's great to be back.
Oh, it's nice to be back. This is our first podcast of the year. Mary is going on a long vacation after this week, so when she gets back, we'll pick it up, unless I can find a host. Maybe even have Lee back. But until then, we'll be doing the 757, top 10, the 757. We have a special guest today. Mary and I will be talking with the legendary sports writer Lee Tolliver. Welcome, Lee.
Legendary?
Legendary.
That's rich right there.
Nothing but the truth.
Where are you taking me to vacation?
Going to Europe next week.
Have a good time.
Before I bring on Lee, Mary and I wanted to discuss the top 10, the 757. This was I know it was difficult for me. I'm sure it was difficult for Mary. We've gone out to several scrimmages together. I've officiated a lot of scrimmages. I actually went across the water to do the Gloucester Jamboree to check out those teams, and it has been quite tough. So our top 10, for me anyway, I think this year, unlike the years past, is going to change quite a bit after teams really start playing. Because I think one thing Mary pointed out to me when I watched NA play, they weren't really doing their starting lineup.
Right.
So anyway.
A lot of it is based on scrimmages and some are games, but every coach has a different philosophy when it comes to scrimmages. Some play just let's see who's our top 14, and others play let's get everybody in.
Right.
So.
Okay, so let's start with our number one. For me, I didn't think originally this was going to be my number one team until I saw their last scrimmage against
Hill School,
and I was really impressed with their structure. Mary watched that game too. So Cox High School was my number one.
I agree with you there. They were very, very organized for this early on in the season.
Yeah, I agree. Very aggressive, very hungry, it appeared. My number two, and I haven't seen them play. I'm just going based on what the paper said.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tab over on the peninsula.
They have a few names over there, the Trader Sisters and all that. But yeah, I'd like to see them come down here and play in the tournament this weekend, or play Norfolk Academy, or play some of the other schools so we get a real good basis.
I think they scrimmaged Cox. I heard that, but I don't know how any of that went.
Okay.
And I could be making that up too. I don't know. I just heard
Yeah.
it. My number three is Norfolk Academy. I did all three of their scrimmages this year. I think they're fairly talented. They're young. They do have a couple of good players on there, and I know Natalie Holder is doing a great job with them, taking over for Mary. And they have a ton of girls. I think where they're lacking a little bit is in the goalie position. I think that's what's hurting them most.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's tough after you had two quality keepers that went on to play at Penn State and Iowa. But the girls that they have in there are hardworking, and I know that what we saw in our scrimmages won't be the keepers. They're going to come along.
Yeah.
And I always say, it's not always that we've had grand keepers, and I always say to our backs, protect your goalkeeper.
Right.
And I think the backs, once they figure out what the lineup is, I think they're going to be fine.
I do too, and I think they'll grow as a team. And I think Natalie's, she's clearly working her butt off with them. She's been working hard all summer, and she's really good at what she does. So I do think, I wouldn't be surprised if they're number one in a couple weeks.
I'd like to see it.
And number four was last year's Class 5 state champion, Nansemond River. And I'm not so sure that's where they should be. They may be higher, they may be lower. They lost 5 really good seniors, all went on to play in college.
Yeah. They had a lot of talent last year.
Yeah, and they still have some quality players. They tied or beat, depends on which one you talk to, First Colonial in a scrimmage. They beat Kellum, 2-1. So I don't know. Tonight they actually play Hickory, which I think will be a really good test for both teams, because Hickory, I think, has improved quite a bit.
From what I hear from Hickory is they have a good quality, they have a good structure. They have 4 or 5 really good girls.
Yeah.
Their team is, whereas Nansemond River, they have Braden Johnston, who is in that selection pool for junior national camp. And
they also have Cadence Parker.
Cadence, yes.
She's good. And I feel like there's a couple names I don't know that I think are decent as well.
Yeah.
Number 5, I have Pocosin.
Yeah, who did they play that was a little bit of not an upset?
They beat FC.
They beat FC, that was the game. And they've got another quality girl that is in the U.S. system, Elizabeth Tran.
Yes, yeah. And I think I talked to their coach, Darcy, and she thought in that game they dominated, but First Colonial has a really good keeper.
Yes, yeah.
Really, she's probably the best keeper in the state, honestly.
Yeah, she's also Addie, I think her name is, and she's in
Yeah, she is.
the pool for U.S. So
Yeah.
we've got some good kids, good talent coming up.
Are you doing your top 10, or am I just saying my top 10 right now?
You're just saying your top 10
Okay.
because I agree with you.
Okay. Number 6, I have Great Bridge. I did their scrimmage against Norfolk Academy. They really impressed me there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was water-based turf. And then I saw them play at Ocean Lakes, and they didn't play as well. It's just such a different game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stop the ball. It's so much slower.
That's the hardest
They just
part
looked like
of
a completely
coaching.
different team. They dominated the game, but they had a hard time scoring on that grass.
Right.
And I think also on that field turf, it's really hard to get a breakaway
Mm-hmm.
and maintain it.
Right.
Number 7, I have First Colonial, and mostly because of Abby.
Yeah.
Based on what everyone's telling me, that's who they're mentioning. And then number 8, I have Gloucester. They also lost some key girls,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw them this past maybe 2 weekends ago, and I thought they looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't really challenged much defensively, so I really couldn't see a whole lot, but they looked pretty good. They had some quality players.
One thing I know about Gloucester is that they're a very physical, feisty
Very
group.
physical. Very physical. Number 9, and I think this is a sleeper team. I've been saying this all preseason, and they easily could jump up several spots, and that's Hickory. They are probably the most improved team I've seen from last year. They've got probably 5 or 6 really good players on that team. 2 of them are freshmen that I trained, Abby Cullen and Kenley. I can't think of Kenley's last name, but they're really, really talented players. They both play for Focus.
Okay.
Maddie Moulton is a defender for them. She's
yeah.
pretty good. She plays for Tacoya as well. And I don't know this one girl's name. She's their center back or their DCM. I can't remember, but she's really good as well. But their supporting cast is also pretty good.
They have some good good talent out there.
Yeah, I wish I could see their game tonight against Nansen River. And then number 10, I have also, I think, an improved team is Catholic.
Lindsay always puts together a good team. I've heard they have 4 or 5 quality kids.
Yeah, they do. And I saw them play in the Gloucester tournament. And when I think they lost to Gloucester 1-0, but there was 25-minute games.
Okay.
But it was pretty back and forth. So they
Yeah.
held their own, and they were missing 2 of their best players.
Uh,
So they're another team I thought could jump up.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
and other teams I think to look for would be York, Grafton, and Kellam.
York was a late bloomer last season, as I recall. They
Mm-hmm.
came out of nowhere and did very well in post-season. So
Yeah, York
don't know enough
has
about
one
them.
little girl I love watching, Sloan Beach, Kara Moore's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
She's a feisty little thing. She's a sophomore. I think she plays right mid for them. She's really, really good.
Oh, wow.
She's actually, for being so tiny, she's super aggressive. And just a great player, just a workhorse. Anything you want to add?
No, I think that's a great start for the top 10, and hopefully we got it right and they won't change, but I guarantee you it will change.
After tonight, it could change. This weekend, we have the Ring of Honor, Friday and Saturday playing. We've got Friday, 2 o'clock, Norfolk Academy plays Assumption. Assumption is coming to us from Kentucky. At 3:30, Hickory plays Cape Henry. And then 5 o'clock, we have First Colonial playing Assumption and Catholic playing Stab, or St. Anne's Belfield. And then Saturday, we start at 9 o'clock in the morning. I think Richmond Collegiate plays Assumption. That's going to be a good game.
Oh, yeah, that will be.
Yeah, and then on field 2, Cox plays St. Anne's. At 10:30, Norfolk Academy plays Kellam. And then at 1:30, Trinity plays Kellam. So we're giving Kellam a bit of a break from that.
Trinity is going to be another strong team. Very, very strong.
Yeah, they actually were at the Gloucester Jamboree as well. And did I have one of the games? I either had one of the games or I had watched one of the games. I can't remember. And they were missing 2 of their best players. I'm hoping you would probably know the one girl if I said her name. She's going to Penn State next year.
Yes.
She didn't play.
Okay.
And she's coming back. And when I talked to Margie, she said she may be back for this weekend. So that would be nice if just so I can really see how good they are. Okay, we'll take a break and hear from our good friends at CHKD, Vival and Il Giardino, and we'll come back with Lee Tolliver.
For any athlete, making it to the top sometimes comes with a few steps back. That's why parents count on CHKD Sports Medicine, advanced diagnostics, treatment, and rehabilitation for sports injuries, just for young athletes like yours. With convenient locations across Hampton Roads and a whole team of experts here to keep your favorite player at the top of their game. CHKD Sports Medicine. Learn more at chkd.org or call the CHKD Sports Injury Hotline.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
What makes a life a good one? Is it our adventures? Or the friends we find along the way? Is it the challenges we conquer together? Maybe it's the people's lives we touch every single day. So, what makes a life a good one? You'll have to figure that one out for yourself.
I'm like, Cooper, come on.
Portco is your local nonprofit organization dedicated to economic empowerment through employment for people with disabilities. We focus on abilities, not limitations, providing on-the-job vocational support. Find your pathway to employment. Contact us or learn more at portco.org.
The town story for me is really about connecting with our members in a way that's different from the other banks. What's consistently found at Town Bank, it's a company built on employees that really want to help make a difference in people's lives. From day one, this company was built on a culture of caring. A foundation has not changed. We're still built on caring and helping others.
At Atomic Wings, we prioritize real chicken with fresh, all-natural, never-frozen ingredients, all packed with serious flavor. Order from over 15 awesome flavors at atomicwings.com.
Kova Painting. We don't just paint, we transform spaces. Visit kovapainting.com or call 757-550-7357 and mention the Sportsplex for 10% off of projects over $1,000.
Not great at explaining. All right, same thing. 3, 2, 1.
Point at Mary.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another edition of Off the Turf with Beanie and Mary. Today we have a very near and dear friend with us and to the hockey world, Lee Tolliver.
Who's coming in?
You, Lee. He is a 1976 Kellum graduate who started working at the Beacon, which was a special edition of the Virginia Pilot. He has been a journalist for over 43 years and is a member of 6 Hall of Fames, and the most illustrious one, our own Hall of Fame here at the Training Center. He has received many journalism awards during his time at the Pilot. When Beanie and I first started coaching here in the 90s, there was no one like Lee who covered high school field hockey. Back then, there was amazing coverage on all high school sports, but Lee gave us extra special attention, and he knew the game inside out and backwards, even though he says he didn't.
He could have coached the sport.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome, Lee. We're delighted to have you
That
here.
would have been more than a little bit interesting if I would have coached one of them.
Do you might not have a job.
Yeah, I don't have one now, so.
You've earned your time off.
And stats, he knew stats on everybody.
Yeah.
I have a funny
He came
story I'll
prepared.
tell you guys
Well,
about a little bit later.
Well, just like when I'd read off the stats at the all Tidewater thing and something, and it's like, well, they say they don't read the stats or anything like that, so I figured, well, they must not be reading any of my stories.
Well, I can guarantee you the high school coaches were. Beanie and I were reading.
I love the Beacon.
I was looking
Yeah.
I was looking last night at all the stuff from the Virginia high school leagues, and you guys included all the history and stuff, and I started writing down all the teams, and then the first and the second, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, I'm gonna wing it because there is no figuring this out.
Sometimes it is hard. First question for you, Lee. Since you're a major historian of high school field hockey here in Tidewater, what are some of your fondest memories?
I guess it might have been Yogi was a Green Run, and they were playing Kempsville, and she followed the girl a little bit too close, and when the girl on her backswing hit Yogi in the face, and I'm thinking, all right, call the meat wagon because you're taking me out of here if that happens. And she got up and brushed it off and went back out and played. And that's just one little indicator of what I liked about the sport was the quality of the athletes and their determination and their desire to play well. It's those kind of things. Everybody thinks football and basketball and wrestling and stuff, but I noticed real quick that gymnastics and field hockey and stuff, that these traits are the same. These girls want to work hard. They want to play the best they can play, and that little situation with Yogi was something clicked with me then that, hey, these girls are serious. And that's back when they were playing on a miserable grass field that was full of potholes, miserable sticks. The whistle blew every 5 seconds, and I'm like, somebody explain to me these fouls, because they're not getting to play. But it's different now. They let the girls play. They let their athletic abilities show, and it's a fun game to watch. It was a fun game to cover. And
what year was that? What year? That was like the 70s or 80s?
80s.
80s? Because Yogi's my age, I believe.
Well, don't forget, I'm older than all y'all.
Well, that's why you're the major historian.
I guess I covered my first real field hockey season was 79.
Yeah, I actually feel like that was probably when 79, 80 with Yogi.
Okay.
Because
when did you play in high school?
I graduated in 86. So
86,
and Yogi's
okay.
6 or 7 years older than me, so it had to be like your first years.
We have one thing in common. You're also a Kellum graduate.
Yep.
Except I was 76. Not 76 years old. I've got well, you flip-flop the numbers. I'm 67, so flip-flop the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm just, I wish the game would have progressed faster and got to at least partial of the level it's at now. Because it was so much fun to watch. I'd watch other people cover it, and they're just not as intent as, I'd be watching hard, and it's like, no, I'd call one of the referees, it hit her stick, ask her. And, you're right, hit her stick, I can't change the call. I'm like, well,
You should have worn the black and white stripes back then.
I considered it, and then
we're looking for officials.
Health issues have gotten the best of me, so I don't think I could run a whole game with those ladies out there anymore. I'd be breathing hard and calling timeouts for myself.
So tell me, what was a typical day like for you at the Pilot or Beacon as far as your field hockey input?
Let's say a typical Friday, I'd go fishing in the morning, then I'd get some lunch or whatever, and I'd come and cover a field hockey game here or wherever, and my boss would try to get my football game for that night somewhere close by so I could write my story in the parking lot before this was built and hightail it to the football game, then go out to the car, write, and I'd get home at 1 o'clock in the morning. A day started at 6 in the morning and ended 1 o'clock the next morning. That was, damn, that's scary. that was
that's
a
probably
typical
why there
day.
was such great coverage.
I never
I mean,
almost every game.
individuals, teams,
We had
coaches,
we
everybody
had
got
a
coverage,
we had a whole
which
lot,
is lacking now.
we had a whole lot more people than we do now. To the staff's defense, they just don't have the numbers of people, and so they've had to call some. Now this is all speculation because I don't work there anymore, but they had to make some hard decisions about who gets what and where are we going to spend most of our time. And let's face it, football and men's basketball and wrestling to some degree are they're going to get the nods at first.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of the beast, so to speak.
I know. I remember after so many games, I would walk in here for whatever reason, and Lee would be sitting at that table, writing the article on the. I guess it would have been one of my games, writing the article on the game, and I mean, you probably had to submit it right then, and then he, like he said, hauled ass to a football game and covered that. And the next day, did you see the write about the hockey and the whatever game you covered? I mean, it was crazy.
Well,
I remember the first time you interviewed me at Academy was my first year coaching varsity.
was I speaking yet?
And it was after we won TCIS, yes, you were speaking. And I don't think the school was prepared for me to be interviewed by the paper because after the interview, I got called into the office as far as, what did you say and how did you say it? And I had to get a little education on how to talk to the press.
Why are
and I'm
you
only
talking to
about
that
real
guy?
hockey.
Why are you talking to that guy?
That's funny. So we were talking about stats. This is a true story. I'll never forget it. It was Haley's senior year. We were playing Cox,
Of course.
for the state final, and this is back when it was. We ended up playing 4 times: regular
Yeah.
season, beach district tournament, regional finals. One of those. And it was like 6 minutes left to go in the game, and we get a corner. And Lee, he's always stood at the 50-yard. He comes running over to me. He goes, "If Haley scores here, she'll have her 200. I'm like, "Oh my God, did you really just say that?" And whatever.
Yeah,
and
no pressure at all.
Make sure Haley gets a corner, and she was doing anyway. She ended up scoring.
It didn't matter. She didn't read my stuff anyway, so.
She didn't know. She really never knew. Jeff knew everything though. He knew, as soon as she
did
scored
he?
that goal, he looked like a jumping up and down like he lost his mind over there. And I would have known if Lee didn't say something to me. It was so funny.
Hey, Beanie, who's the crazy guy back behind me that's yelling the whole time? So, oh, you're married to him? Oh.
So you talked about Yogi. This is my question. Watching hockey, gosh, from '79 to when did you stop covering?
Be 5 years ago this season.
Okay. Through the decades, you've seen so many good players at different levels. So I don't want to say what are your best 5 or 10 athletes because it's so different with the level of, like, for example, my generation kids, all they did was play on turf.
Yeah,
I only played on grass.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
what were some of your, not best moments, but like some of the best athletes and why?
That one's fairly easy because when ODU was so good and I was starting to try to ramp up the high school coverage as best I could, they had me covering ODU, and there's no question it was Marina DiGiacomo. That girl was mind-blowingly amazing, and she didn't even make her national team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she came in to the United States and goes to ODU and ends up being the best player in the country, and and you could see the girls that I would cover at the high school games would be in the stands watching when she was trying to run the clock down in the corner with 2 defenders and her stick work and stuff until she was able to work them into a foul.
She was a one-woman wrecking crew.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
could single-handedly change a game.
What about in the? I just thought of a player that I never coached against, but she played here. But I'm thinking of like in the 757 in the high school area. Who were some of the best players you covered?
Kim Miller,
Mm-hmm.
Kathy Facina. Trying to think of the girl's name that was on your team that went on to play with the national team. You've had some good ones.
Riley Fulmer, Greer Gill.
Yeah. So that's the and Haley.
Right.
But I think it's hard to pick nowadays who the best players are because they're surrounded by so many other, maybe not as good a player, but high level of player that helps make that good player that much better.
Yeah.
Like you said, Marina DiGiacomo, she could go out there 1-on-7 and win the game all by herself.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been some, and back in that day, Yogi and those that bunch back there.
Mimi Smith.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
And Mimi's she's still at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, she's the assistant coach at ODU. Do you know
yeah,
that?
yeah.
What is I can't. Heather played at Princess Anne.
Oh, Heather Wynn.
Heather
Yes.
Wynn. Yeah, and
I
I
don't think how she could hit that ball.
Yes. And that was on a surface at Princess Anne that was, whew.
Yeah.
I
She
named
was-
her the player of the year for the all Tidewater team twice in a row and caught so much grief from so many people from other teams and stuff. And I finally would address coaches or parents and go, would you have Heather on your team if you had the opportunity? Oh, you're damn right I would. Yeah, we'd love to have her. I said,
Enough said.
enough said.
Yeah.
Exactly what are you looking for from me? The kid could flat out play.
And
She was one of the first muscle girls that could. You did not want to get in the way of one of her shots.
No, especially on grass.
Oh.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, the bad bounce and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she could crush the ball. She get VCU. I know she didn't end up playing.
She played for 2 years, as I recall.
Yeah,
And
then-
transferred.
and then I don't think she finished. She did. She might have gotten a degree, but I don't think she finished
playing,
playing
no.
hockey. So,
No.
That may not be, I don't think so either, but I'm not sure about that.
but the little short-haired blonde.
Yep.
Well, she could bring it.
I have a question for you, Lee. And you gotta be careful how you answer this. Who were your
I just won't answer.
Who were your favorite coaches?
Oh. I've got to say Nancy is right there at the top.
She started it all.
Yeah.
And she was real good about educating me about this. She goes, "Are you serious? You really want to cover this and stuff?" I'm like, "I think so, but I need a little help." And she was real good about that. You two, Cape Henry, Kempsville. I mean, it just,
Julie.
yeah.
Sarah,
I mean-
was it Sarah Taylor that was at Kempsville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just I'm gonna kick into be careful mode because
Yeah.
there's
A lot of
but that's as difficult a question as who were your favorite players.
Right.
and stuff.
Right.
Yes.
It's just
yes.
there were people that made my job a lot more fun than it probably should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that regard, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
I do have one last question. It's not as difficult to answer. What?
Oh, from you?
Mm-hmm. What's the biggest difference you see in today's hockey world
Good one.
as opposed to even 10 years ago?
The ability to the girls are allowed to play. They weren't. The rules were such as that they never got a chance to even the best ones didn't get a chance to showcase their talent. And I know some of those girls now that they're have moved on in their life. I know a lot of them are probably thinking, "Boy, I sure would have loved to have played in the 2000s or something like that." The field is so much better, the skill level's better. Being in shape,
Yeah.
the
When they got
the
rid
talent.
of, when they got rid of the offsides rule, that opened the
That
game
was
up
that
big
was
time.
that
And
was
the self-start.
That was a huge reason why a lot of the guys in the sports department, like, they're just making it too difficult and stuff. And finally, I told them, guess what? They did away with offsides, and you're gonna watch some bird dogging and some. It's gonna change the game big time, and it did.
Made it fun.
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
The self-start was another big one where.
Yeah.
The long hit.
Yeah.
And
I can't tell you how many free hits we would have, and the hitter would hit it and lifted, whistle, going the other way, and I'm like, oh, this is killing me.
And after I left the paper and stuff, I came by here for a game just on my way somewhere, and they were playing not two halves, they were playing quarters, and I'm like, when did that start?
When did that start? Like 3 years ago?
Yeah, definitely after COVID.
Yeah.
I think that's, it doesn't seem like it would, but that's enhanced the game because it gives the girls a little bit more of a, let's face it, how many miles a game do these girls and young ladies run? I mean, getting that extra little break in there, that's worth a lot.
Especially high school. Some of these players are playing 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And the midfield.
The midfield you don't sub a lot, and they're going.
Yeah.
Well, I always thought that the midfielders, like with Heather Lynn, the midfielders, you could have great defenders and great offensive players, but if you don't have a captain in the middle of the field calling the shots on both sides of the field, each side's going to struggle a little bit. So you have to have that field general.
Yeah. Well, also at our level, I feel like your best player is on defensive corner. She's on offensive corner. She's only playing 100 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
No, I think, Lee, you pointed out that, now that you are no longer talking about field hockey, Beanie and I need to pick up the slack and get the word out.
Well, I'll be glad to bone up on it a little bit more, and if y'all need me to come in and gab a little bit, just so long as one of y'all buys lunch next time.
Are you around here this weekend?
I am. Weekends are dedicated to Ellen, Oliver Tolliver, and the pool.
Is Friday considered the weekend?
It is.
Okay. Ask you to come to the Ring of Honor. That's it.
I no longer have I don't have a boss that I have to work for. I have a boss, but she calls the shots at home. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
I
will be here this weekend, providing Chuck is here. I have not seen Chuck forever, so Chuck, you better be here this weekend.
I'll tell him that.
Okay.
Before I leave today.
Well, you know how I was, covering men's and women's softball and stuff, and be it footers, and people would buy me a beer, and because they wanted to talk to me about a story possibility, and I let it be known, if you want to talk to me, you're gonna have to buy me a beer. And I looked at the owner once, and I said, "Look at this, man. You're gonna have to give me a ride home because there's like 12 people in line, waiting to share a story idea with me, and it's gonna cost them a beer." Those days would not have suited. Now, me and Ellen have had good times, travel a lot, stuff like that, but those days would not have worked.
Yeah. Yep.
It's all good. Hey, I waited till I was 38 to find the right one.
You found her.
Yep, absolutely.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
She
for
never
coming
played
in today.
field hockey though.
Well,
Did she ever go to a hockey game?
Yeah, she came to a couple state tournament games with me a couple
I
times.
think I remember seeing her out. Probably in the hospitality room with you.
Tall, long blonde hair,
Mm-hmm.
very good looking. my better 3/4.
Yeah, how'd you land that? So the Ring of Honor this weekend.
I have been asked that question a lot. What is she doing with you? What's wrong with her? What is she doing with you? That's one thing good I got from my mother was if you make her happy, the rest is a breeze.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us, Lee. It was great seeing
It
you.
was I loved it. I appreciate y'all having me. I really do. We
Yeah.
sit and shoot the gab like this for a while.
Yeah.
Talk about something we all love. Ring of Honor this weekend, September 5th is Friday and 6th. Thanks for joining us today. Once Mary gets back from her 3-week vacation in Europe, we'll be doing our podcast weekly. And we're going to start our Chick Palm Player of the Week, sponsored by Il Giardino. Remember the Ring of Honor this weekend. That's it for us. Thanks for watching. Have a great week.
Thank you, Beanie.
Yeah, Lee, we'll have you back for show.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're